Hello, everybody. This is Sharon Fant again, and I'm here to share some more information with you about diabetes. And yesterday on our video, we had a guest on that put a note in the chat, wanted to know more about 10 of the best foods and drink for diabetics. And so I told her that I would have some information about that today. So that is what today's topic is about. We are talking about the 10 best foods and drinks for diabetics. So it looks like a few people are coming on. Thank you for joining me. Thank you, Becky and Keith and Daniel. Thank you for joining me on this broadcast here for the Facebook Live. If you know someone who may want to know more information about diabetes and what we're going to share today, please share this video. And if you are watching me from YouTube, hit the subscribe button and ring the bell so that you can hear every time that I come on to be giving a broadcast. So today will be a short video because I know everybody's busy. I actually had somewhere to go today myself. I went to an event and now I'm back home, and I am excited to share with you some of the information that I have about foods that is best for a diabetic to eat and the best drink for a diabetic. So we will go ahead and get started with that. Hi, Carolyn. And hi, Becky. Oh, Becky said hi. Okay, thank you, Becky. And hi, Andre. Thank you very much for joining me. So this won't be a long video. It'll be a quick one. And now some of the foods that I'm going to mention, you more than likely already have this as part of your diet because some of these foods are pretty common. However, as a diabetic, you want to be sure to add these foods to your diet. Specifically because they would be the best, or I'm going to say low carbohydrate diets. So today I'm going to be talking about mostly vegetables. And these are some of the vegetables that I recommend to add to your diet. Now, some of these vegetables, I have to say, will be vegetables that people say, I don't like those though. I don't like that. So, but it's actually the best food for a diabetic to eat. So we will just say a little bit about diabetes. Now, diabetes actually is, and if you go and do some research on this, you will find out that diabetes is actually a dietary disease. It was caused by dietary conditions. All about your digestive system and what goes on in the digestive system. So diabetes, the best way to treat it, because it is a dietary disease, the best way to treat it is through diet, okay, and what it is that you're putting into your body, the foods that you're eating. So I'm going to go through this list of the top 10 foods, and I actually have a drink that I recommend that diabetics have as well. So the top 10 foods, and there are many more, but these are the top 10, and you will notice that most of them are green vegetable. Okay, so you want to make sure you get broccoli, and that's a common food that you will see, especially see that at the salad bar. So broccoli is there, and you can make broccoli all different kinds of ways. You can steam it, you can bake it, all of that kind of thing. And cabbage is number 2. I remember growing up, we had cabbage a lot when I was growing up. It was a common food because it actually did not cost as much as some of the other foods at the grocery store. So cabbage is really, really good for a lot of things. It helps with add more fiber, and you won't have constipation as much. It's just really good food to add to your diet. And it won't hurt to eat some cabbage at least 2 to 3 times a week. Okay. So that's number 2. Number 3 is celery. Celery is good because it's a very hydrating type of food. So celery is good to keep you hydrated, and it has high fiber. And then you have collard greens. Now, I grew up with collard greens. I don't know if many of you did, but I grew up eating collard greens. So those are good to eat for a diabetic. Now, I would not recommend that they be cooked The way my grandmother cooked them, she put a lot of fatty meat in it. So that's not a good way to cook the collards. So I would say either steam them or cook them with, plain water and salt, but not a whole lot of fatty meats added to it, okay? And then okra. Okra is very, very good for a diabetic. Then you have number 6, mushrooms. Mushrooms are good for diabetics to eat as well. Then you have spinach, which is number 7 on my list. And you have turnip greens. We had turnip greens a lot when I was growing up. Same thing what I said earlier about the collards. Don't put a lot of fatty meats in it. Just cook it, in a kind of a small amount of water and kind of steam it. You don't have to cook it long. You don't have to cook it all day like my grandmother did. She cooked it all day. But you don't have to cook greens that long. It cooks pretty fast. And then zucchini. And then lastly, number 10 is cucumbers. And cucumbers is actually should be listed as number 1 because cucumbers are very high alkaline food. And so it's really good to balance the alkaline acid content balance of your body, okay? So cucumbers is really good for a diabetic. Now, those are my top 10 foods for a diabetic to eat, but there are many, many more. And as you notice, these are all vegetables, but there are meats. You want to eat lean meats. If you're a diabetic, you definitely want to stick to the lean. If you got to have meat, the lean beef, the lean chicken, and some people do still eat pork, and the lean pork. So you want to make sure that the food is lean that you're eating. Okay. So that is not all. That's not a comprehensive list, but it's just a small list because I did promise the person yesterday that today I would talk about the best foods and drink for diabetics. Now, let's move on to the best drink. Now, I'm not going to give a top 10 list on the drinks because to me, the best drink for a diabetic is water. I'm going to pause there because everybody's like, okay, water? Yes, the best drink for a diabetic is water. Not drinks that you add sugar to, not tea, not coffee. Water. So whenever you are eating your food, you want to have water with it. And as a matter of fact, I recommend that you drink 2 cups of water before you eat. And that is going to help you eat less. And it's also going to help you with any salty foods that you may encounter. That's going to balance out the salt and keep you from bringing all the water content out of your bloodstream and causing you to gain weight. And there's one person wrote a book about what happened to them when they were not having water and they would eat at a restaurant. They'd weigh themselves before they went to the restaurant, and then they would weigh themselves after, and they could gain as much as 4 pounds after eating without having to drink water and dilute all the salty foods that they were eating. So that is my recommendation for the 10 best foods. And then the best drink for a diabetic is water. So I don't recommend anything else, but I can say some of the drinks that you should avoid, and that would be coffee. You want to avoid coffee, and if you're a diabetic, you want to avoid alcohol. And if you do drink those items, just drink them in moderation, very small amounts because it could affect your blood sugar levels. All right. So, and caffeine or coffee can increase your blood sugar levels by 8%. Okay. So just to keep that in mind. Let's see who else is watching me today. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to move down. I want to thank everybody for joining. Thank you, Zoe. Appreciate you being here. And Roxanne, thank you. And if Andre, and he made a comment. Hi, Andre. And Iris, thank you, Iris, for making a comment. And Ernestine, and Gregory, and James, and Antonio, and Sandra, and Esther, and Rachel. Okay, thank you everybody for joining me. I will be here again tomorrow. And tomorrow I'm going to talk about fasting. I'm going to go back to something I said earlier, that diabetes is a dietary disease. And actually, one of the best ways to treat it and to reverse it and to lower your blood sugar is to fast. And that was one of the things that I discovered, that fasting 1 day a week can actually put you on a journey to reversing your diabetes. Now, that's kind of hard for some people. But fasting is doable, and it doesn't cost you anything. So I do recommend that you fast 1 day a week. And tomorrow I'm going to talk about why and what happens to your body when you do fast. So 1 day a week for 24 hours, 24 to 36 hours is the best recommendation that I have for people who do have diabetes and they want to lower their blood sugar and get off their diabetic medicines, particularly if you want to get off your insulin. So that's it. I want to also recommend that if you are a diabetic, that you start doing some research. There's a lot of sites that you can go to give you more information about what's the best foods for a diabetic. So I want to recommend that you do some self-study, self-research, and start implementing some of the things that you find into your diet. She's need to get the book. Oh, yes. Okay. Thank you for reminding me, Esther. I do have a book that I wrote about my experiences. It's here. It's Your Doctor is Not the Boss of You. And it is my testimonial or journey of what I went through with diabetes and how I went from having 4 insulin shots per day to no insulin shots per day. And it's quite a journey. And there is information out there, everyone, for you to know that diabetes is curable. You can be healed from diabetes. And it's simple to do. It's not complicated. It just takes a little bit of discipline, but it can be done. And so, yeah, my book is on Amazon. It's Your Doctor is Not the Boss of You. Some of the things that I had to do that was against traditional medicine. Because if I continued doing it the way the doctor said to do it, I would continue to have diabetes, and the diabetes would continue to get worse. It's not one of those diseases that gets better. It is a disease that gets worse. The more medicine you take, the more medicine you have to take. So this book tells my journey and what I did to get off insulin shots. So you can go to SharonFant.com. It'll take you directly to Amazon where you can purchase the book. So thank you for that, Esther. Hi, Lynette. And let's see who else came on. Okay. All right. I don't think I missed anybody else. All right. Well, thank you, everybody. Like I said earlier, this is a short video. I know this is Friday night and people are probably doing a lot of wonderful fun things. So I just want to make sure I got on and answered that question from one of our viewers yesterday. And if you have a question that you want me to answer during my short chats with you here on Facebook and YouTube, then just let me know in the comments and I will be happy to add that to my list, because for the next 30 days I will be giving information about diabetes, several topics, different information about diabetes that hopefully will empower diabetics and to move toward healing. And if you're not a diabetic, maybe you know someone who is a diabetic and you want to share this information with them, then hit the share button for me and share it on your timeline. Hit the like button, and hopefully those people who are on your timeline will see this and maybe they can, find some value in the information that I'm sharing with you. Okay, so thank you, everybody, and I will see you again tomorrow. Thanks, Betty and Marjorie. I just see you come on. Thank you very much. We will talk to you all tomorrow. Bye-bye.